life, I'm a musician, and I hold a master's degree in accompanying. Yet for the people who know me as a pianist, my actual secret life is teaching human development and family studies. I've played the piano for 88% of my life, which is 7 times longer than I've taught in college. I love to make music with other people, and I prefer to share the spotlight. While freelancing as an accompanist and mothering my 4 children, I spent 12 years focusing my creative energy as a preschool teacher. It was during this time that I discovered the field of human development and family studies, and I leapt in to get my second master's degree. I soon found myself playing to a new crowd, college students, who are somewhat different than preschoolers, mostly. Teaching about development has given me insight into my life as a musician and a creative teacher. I've always taken my creativity and curiosity for granted. Now, given what I know about brain development, I realize they're the natural byproduct of my early experience with music. My goal as a collaborating pianist is to deflect attention from myself by providing consistent, expressive, and rhythmic support so others can sing and soar without worry. I've spent years studying and honing my piano playing to ensure that my performances with others are about them and not about me. This must be why I'm drawn to the format of team-based learning. Instead of lecturing as a sage on stage, I choose to be a guide on the side. Teaching does not cause learning, but cooperative, meaningful practice does. Team-based learning fosters critical thought, and it helps me redirect the spotlight onto my learners. In my class, students work in teams to wrestle with new knowledge and apply it in sometimes unfamiliar yet thought-provoking ways. Students discover that collective intelligence is powerful and transformative, and tapping into it requires them to reach outside of themselves and their assumptions about both learning and teaching. One of the biggest challenges of team-based learning is moving students onto center stage. The transition from passive learner to active participant is a paradigm shift. The tables have been turned on the students. When they come to class, they expect to be fed information. Instead, they're asked to participate as ensembles. They must each learn their part well enough to perform as a group. I am merely a stage manager, a catalyst for learning. My role is to provide prompts and cues, but the responsibility for success is placed squarely on the student's shoulders. At first, students miss frantically scribbling notes in class, and without the adrenaline rush to recall facts, they're not convinced they know the material. They don't trust themselves, or me. Sometimes the class format is uncomfortable, and students express resistance. In my evaluation, students report, "I have never encountered an instructor who lectured less than this one. She refuses to actually teach." And all of the learning relies on you to do the reading and learn the information. Imagine that. You know, it takes courage to walk on stage or into a classroom. In both cases, you shoot for 100% and are happy with 85. As teachers, we pride ourselves on class decorum, shushing chit-chat so it won't bubble up into chaos. But to properly implement team-based learning, I must give up some control in order to empower my students. Creativity is a noisy process. It's important for students to reflect on the difference between studying and learning. Right answers are not as important as the process for finding them. Sometimes there are no completely right answers. Students argue over best choices, and as they do that, they're dynamically reinforcing their new knowledge and practicing ways to apply it to real life. Cohesive teams look different than a random group of students pulled together into a circle. I see this as in the posture and actions of my students as they participate in team activities. They sit on the edge of their chairs, lean in to hear each other, and argue for their point of view. I hear the difference in the gleeful exclamations and the high fives of "aha" and "we knew it." Giving students the time to work in teams provides them opportunities to hone essential skills they need for the workforce. In 2014, one of the top 2 attributes employers sought in job-seeking candidates is the ability to work in a team, according to the National Association of Colleges and Employers. But you know, it's not all about work. In my life as a musician, I love to play, and research findings about human development confirm the innately educational benefits of play. Play inspires exploration, encourages negotiation, allows mistakes, and is a way to express our true selves. It's perhaps the sneakiest way to teach. And for me, accompanying is a fun way to perform. I get in on the action and make music, and I'm part of a group. Working in teams is a safe, playful mechanism for students. It's comfortable, and within a team, unspoken thoughts become vocal expressions of knowledge because students feel more secure with social support and class structure. This leads me to wonder what other barriers keep students from participating. What baggage weighs them down? Maybe some are afraid to be wrong. Perhaps one has endured a tedious 2-hour commute on I-35. Another worries about a sick parent. One is in the middle of a romantic breakup. Some grew up in abusive households. When basic human needs are discounted, learning feels irrelevant. My knowledge of human development reminds me that everyone must be seen, heard, and listened to. Playing piano for the homeless reminds me that life happens. Music transcends barriers, just as a kind word opens a student's mind, heart, and book more readily than the fear of failure. At times, it seems teaching has eclipsed my music making, and perhaps it has for now, but music has made me who I am. And when I remember who I am, an invisible presence nurturing the best in others, I know what to do. This helps me hold true to the enduring understanding at the heart of both disciplines. Living and learning occur best in the context of relationships. When I work with other musicians, we challenge each other, and because of this, we grow. In using team-based learning strategies, I've been challenged to grow as a teacher. The format helps me ensure that student learning is about grappling with content and making connections. Facilitating keeps me actively, purposefully out of the spotlight, yet in a crucial supporting role from which I can lead. My job is not to determine what the students will see, but to give them the vision of possibilities. Isn't that also our mutual responsibility as colleagues? When we find something that works, we should share it freely, without judgment. Exploring our creativity and curiosity should be fun. Won't you join me? Thank you.